everyone, welcome back to my channel. Thank you for coming back for another video. So today I wanted to talk about how to survive, how to get through, how to manage Christmas when you've got a chronic illness. There's so much going on at Christmas, there's so many things you want to do, so many people you want to spend time with, and how do you do that while still making sure that you are looking after yourself? There's a balancing act. There's a balancing act between looking after yourself and having a nice time, and you need to get that balance right, because if you look after yourself too much, stay with me, you may miss out on some things that are really important to you, that are really great memories. On the other hand, you may way overdo it because you say yes to all the exciting things you want to do and you completely kill yourself for the after Christmas period, or whenever you have to go back to your regular life, you've like really made yourself go downhill because you spent so much energy doing Christmas or whatever festivities you celebrate. So that's what we're going to talk about in this video. So you're also going to get some vlog footage of us putting up our Christmas decorations, and you will really be able to see how much I help, which is more than I've helped in previous years, but is also not as much as I would like to help. I would prefer to get really stuck in, really involved. I would prefer to go up the ladder into the loft, get the Christmas decorations down myself. I really love to decorate for Christmas, and unfortunately it's not possible. I can't decorate on my own for Christmas, and I can't do it all in one go. So Christmas decorating has had to be split up over probably 2 days. Okay, so my first tip for surviving Christmas or any holiday season is to pace yourself. Now basically, for chronic fatigue syndrome or other fatigue conditions, pacing yourself is how you survive always. It's how you learn to cope with what's going on with you, it's how you learn to cope with your new body, and it's how you learn what you can and you can't do. But I think this is super important for really exciting times, just because you forget, or I certainly do. I get overexcited, someone says, do you want to do this? And I say, yes, I do want to do that. And then I do 3 or 4 exciting things a day. And then the next day I'm like, oh, a mistake. I am definitely known for getting overexcited, doing too much, and then crashing. This happens to me at Christmas, happens to me on summer holidays. It's a thing I do a lot, and I am getting better at it. We will still get to a point quite frequently when my mum will say, I think you probably need a rest now, and I'm like, oh, I don't really want to, I'm having so much fun doing this exciting activity, and she's like, you probably need a rest. I'm like, yeah, you're right. You know, I'm very good at pacing on regular days, but things like Christmas, holidays, other special events, I get overexcited and I lose all ability to remember what I'm supposed to be doing. And I think it's really important that you don't forget about your systems, and you don't want to throw everything out the window. You want to do what you normally do, but just incorporate it into a Christmas kind of setting. And it's really tempting just to get really excited and do every Christmas activity possible, but it's not realistic, and you can have a great time without doing every single activity. And I think this is me telling myself this as well. So another part of remembering to pace is you can split activities up. Traditionally our family would put all of our Christmas decorations up in one day, but with me there has to be accommodations made, and because I want to be involved, we can't do it all in one day. So I think it's going to be spread over 2, maybe 3 days of doing Christmas decorations this year. And so we did the tree, and then we stopped, and there's another tree to do, and then there's the random wall and surface decorations to do, which we couldn't do yesterday because I needed to lie down after we did the tree, and that's okay. And again, it's about the pacing. You get excited, and yes, I want to do all the decorations now, I want to put them all up, but I know that I would get a lot more excitement and enjoyment out of them if I spread it out, because I will be able to enjoy all of them. Whereas if I keep pushing myself, I'll get to a point where I'm not enjoying it anymore because it's just really hurting. My excitement really wants me just to keep going, but you know, the excitement cannot be in charge. I'm in charge. The excitement needs to sit down, behave itself. The sun is going in and out of clouds, so like the lighting on this video is going to be all over the place. So I would say if you're decorating for Christmas, do it in different stages, but also don't do it on your own. If you have to go collect things from the garage or the loft or whatever, someone else can do that. Hopefully there's someone there who is well enough that they can carry the things. If there isn't, that's an even bigger reason for you to spread things out. If you have to do the carrying, maybe carry it to where they're going and then stop and have a break and then unpack them the next day. You know, it's a bit inconvenient to have boxes all over the place, but you know, it's fine. It's not as inconvenient as not being able to get out of bed tomorrow. My mum and I always do the main Christmas decorating because it's kind of the thing we like to do. But generally I'll start with her and then I'll have breaks and she does the more physically demanding stuff. And quite often we'll get to a point where I'm sitting down and just direct it. I'm not actually doing anything physical, but I am involved. Did you hear that creak? This is my very, very old chair. This chair's like 100 years old and it makes so much noise. Okay, so another thing that's really important is making sure the people around you understand. Now again, this is a thing that's always super important, but especially at Christmas, because you may be seeing extended family who maybe you don't see as often, or maybe you don't live with them, so maybe they don't understand as well. Make sure they understand, and maybe you don't want to talk to them about it, but send someone to talk to them about it. So make sure they understand that if you have to leave the festivities to go have a lie down, they won't be upset, they won't be offended, because they'll understand that that's something you need to do. Especially if you're going to someone else's house, you might want to let them know. So if you need to go and lie down in a dark room, maybe you could let them know that might be something you need, and if they, you know, are okay with that, because I have had this situation before at Christmas years ago, where I felt really overwhelmed, really anxiety. I think I was having a panic attack. It's a long time ago, I can't really remember, but I was feeling really overwhelmed. I needed to just escape, and we weren't in our house, so I didn't really know where to go, and I didn't want to go into anyone's bedroom, or because it seemed like an intrusion. So I just went and I sat in the bathroom for quite a while until my mum came to find me, and then she sat in the bathroom with me. And I think if I had prepared in advance, I would have been able to ask if I need to get away, if I need to calm down, or, you know, relax for half an hour, where would it be okay for me to go? Because I didn't know that, I didn't want to intrude in anyone's, you know, private space, so I just went and sat in the bathroom, because I knew that would be a place that I would, you know, I wouldn't be offending anyone by using. So I just went and sat. It was a nice bathroom, but I would have preferred a nice chair or something, you know, better to sit in. So I think that's a really good idea of just preparing it. And I think I would struggle to ask for that, but I would probably send my mum along to ask someone if there was a place I could go sit, away from the, you know, the hubbub. So I think that's a really good idea, just to brief people on what's going on with you and what might happen, and what you might need beforehand, because, you know, once you're in that situation where you really need something now, it's really hard to ask for it. It is for me anyway. Maybe some people are right there. That was me clicking my fingers, if you couldn't tell. I didn't really do it very well. It's really hard to ask for things you need when you're right in the panicking disaster situation. So yeah, definitely let people know ahead of time things that might happen or things you might need, so they're aware. The final thing I wanted to say before we get into the Christmas decorating is it's okay to crash. I've said this before, some things are worth crashing for, and I think, personally, for me, Christmas is worth crashing for. Now, I don't want to crash to the point where I can't get out of bed until New Year's, but I don't mind crashing on Boxing Day. Some things are worth crashing for. Some things are great memories, super important family time, things that you really don't want to miss out on, even though you know it's going to cause you consequences. I think those things are worth crashing for. It has to be an informed decision. You have to know what's going to happen. I think if you're causing a crash by accident, I think you really need to work on your pacing. But you can choose that this activity will cause a crash, but I think it is worth it. I think that is a necessary thing. You've got to get to a point where you know what will cause you a crash, and you know which things are worth crashing for you. I went on a skiing holiday 2 years ago, and I skied 20 minutes a day, and of course that made me crash, because skiing is exercise. But I am so glad I did it. It was so worth it. I knew it would make me crash. I made that informed decision. Other people can't decide for you. If a family member's like, oh no, you should really do this activity with us, it'll be great. It's not up to them, because they're not the ones who have to live with the consequences. And so if you feel like you don't want to cause a crash, or something will cause a crash and you don't think it's worth it, it's really important you can really commit to that. Causing a crash by doing something, I think, is really personal, and I think you should make sure that you know what the consequences are going to be, and you think that they are worth it, and you're not being pressured by anyone to decide to crash. I do choose to crash around Christmas, around my birthday. Like, after the events have happened, I do know that there will be a crash, because I do exceed my limits. But I do it with like knowledge of what's going to happen. I'm informed, I know what will happen when I crash, and I still choose to do it. So there you go, those are my tips. I hope they were helpful, and now you can watch me trying to decorate my house. So we got the tree up. I say we. I participated as much as I could, so I watched as my parents put the tree up. My mum went up into the loft and brought all the Christmas boxes down, and I was also there. I didn't do much. I did help. She did pass me some things, but only the light things. Anything that was heavy she just brought down herself. Then we did some carrying downstairs, and I got tired, so I stopped. And then, so I sorted out the Christmas ornaments into categories. We have a real tree in the hallway. We also have a fake tree for the living room, which is all glass and white and silver. But we haven't started on that one yet. So we've done the main Christmas tree, but we won't be doing the second Christmas tree until tomorrow, and maybe, depending on how I feel, we'll also do the other bits and pieces around the house. But like, not doing everything in one day, super important. So we're just about to start putting up Christmas decorations again on day 2, but the big tree's done, so it's not going to be as much today, probably. Maybe, I can't remember, I don't know. So you've seen us decorate our main tree, but this is our secondary little tree. It's more like a tree. It's not like a Christmas. Anyway, you can see it. You know, it's not a traditional Christmas tree. It's more of a lit up regular tree. I don't know. But anyway, this one is where all of our glass and white ornaments go. This tree's kind of got a more modern vibe. The other one's got a more traditional Christmassy vibe. So we've got all of these glass baubles, which are beautiful. So these are all going to go on there. And some other things, some silver stuff, and some white things. Does this video even make sense? I don't know. thank you so much for watching this video. If you enjoyed the video, leave a like and comment down below if you have any tips of how to survive the festive season. And make sure to subscribe, I'd really appreciate it. And don't forget to watch out for the bloopers. Bye bye. It's oh, I'm really hot in this jumper. Really thinking it through, making decisions and stuff. I don't know how to finish that thought. Hopefully you understand what I mean.